Good morning. How do you feel? Be grateful I'm not a true vampire, then. A bite from them and you might wake up as a vampire spawn, like my good self. All of a vampire's hunger, but few of their powers. Oh no, I should be cinders in this light. I hadn't seen the sun for 200 years before we crashed here. Someone, or something, wants me alive. They've changed the rules. Standing in the sun, wading through a river, wandering into homes without an invitation. They're all perfectly mundane activities now. As for my other quirks, well, we can figure those out in time. No more surprises. You have my word. I'm just glad you're being sensible about these revelations. I was worried people might turn up with torches and pitchforks. Although there's still time.
So we're traveling with a vampire, are we?
Of course we are.
Word of warning, Astarion. I taste absolutely awful.
Fine. As long as he keeps his fangs off our necks.
He's not wrong. We're bound together, no matter what comes.
You say all the right words, but I'm not so sure you mean the right things. Still, I will respect the decision that was made.
There now. We're all friends again. Shall we go? There's a long day ahead of us. Need something? Why do you insist on exhuming the past? I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again. I've already apologized. What more do you want? Unless you're looking for another nibble. No innocence. You have my word. Only villains that we need to kill anyway. After all, you know what I am now. I can fight with all my weapons. Teeth included. And if I happen to drain the occasional bandit during a fight, what's the harm? They're just as dead. Of course! That sounds eminently reasonable. I shall wait patiently until you suggest we dine together. But until then, no more late-night surprises. You have my word on that. It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free. And a true vampire. People think the biggest threat to a vampire is a cleric with a stake. It's not. The biggest threat to a vampire is another vampire. They're scheming, paranoid, power-hungry beasts. So why would any vampire give up control over a spawn to create a competitor? Trust me, it doesn't happen.
Well met.
How can I help? We all have our burdens, one way or the other.
I wasn't expecting it. Fine. What's on your mind?
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And
Well, hello.
I applaud your taste.
A hero at heart.
Was a time I tussled with hill giants without breaking a sweat. Now, a mere werebear could swat me halfway to arm. Well met.
Ever heard of a vampire called Cazador? Well,
I don't think so. Why? Friend of yours?
He's patriarch of the Tsar family. Nasty fellow, if the histories are accurate.
I imagine they are.
What's that?
Defender of the people.
Killed a few giant bats in my day, Astarion, but never hunted a vampire.
Just need something?
What's on your mind? Apart from finding me an artifact to consume, which I assume you're pursuing with the appropriate urgency. That is most gratifying to hear. May I? I will consume the magic inside. What was a powerful artifact will be rendered no more than a trinket. But it will save my life. Even if only temporarily. Thank you. That hit the spot. I can feel it work. The magic, it's like a lullaby that sings to sleep the demon inside. A metaphorical demon, I haste to point out, but no less dangerous. And no less bound to wake up again to continue its ravages. Such is the nature of all monsters. Grateful as I am, the course of our camaraderie is much better served by not taking that particular detour. Not just yet. Sincerely, though. I understand I ask a lot from you with few answers in return. But in time, all will be told. I myself am a much more powerful artifact in your arsenal. Rest assured of that.
Gale slurped that thing up like a horse with a carrot. I hope he got what he needed from it.
I've known people who are hungry for power, but Gale takes it a bit too literally for my liking. I wonder how he does it. Why he does it. I'm sure all will be revealed in time, but I don't like it. A waste of perfectly good treasure.
What's on your mind?
Starion, how is the rat diet going?
It may soon come to an end if you don't shut your mouth.
Well met. I'm feeling a bit parched and peckish.
Me too. Keep an eye out for any passing vagrants.
I'm afraid you'll have to content yourself with vagrant chicken.
A key. I wonder what it opens. Whatever killed those gnolls might be nearby. Careful.
You're an impressive fighter, Gale. You should consider a new name.
I take it you have some suggestions?
The Wizard Wonder. Or how about the Master of the Weave?
Tempting, but I think we might already have the maximum number of theatrical titles.
Something more.
I'm way too big.
Need something?
what's inside.
Well met.
Who's there? Please, keep your distance. You're a devil. We are paladins of Tyr, Lord of Justice. He sent us after an
One horn? Then you mean Karlak.
You know her, which means you know what the fiend... She slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the... We were lucky to survive our encounter with her. She ran toward the river when she saw we were merely wounded. Not, she must pay for her crimes. If you capture her, you will have served Tyr where we could not. This is the sword of justice, blessed by Tyr. I've wielded it since I swore my oath. It's all I have, but it's yours if you stop her. Bring me her head, and Tyr will consider her crimes repaid. May the just God guide you. Perhaps you've decided to chase down the fiend after all. She ran toward the... She must... This is... It's all I have. But it's yours if you stop her. May the just God guide you.
If you want to go poking around in the cellar, be my guest. Plug in corpse, half rotted to mush. It was a toll house. There's more monsters than coin moving down this road. There's a locked door down the hatch. If there's any gold left, that's where it'll be.
Need any supplies? We've fewer mouths to feed now. 2. Both stalwarts of Tyr. Sworn to uphold. The Lord of Justice sent us after a devil. Talk to Anders if you want the details. I don't have it in me to recount the horror. In Tyr's name.
Just another crate. Looks empty. Looks empty. the pride of the gate. And these things have stayed interesting.
And that's a very...
One horn. The stink of Avernus. Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you. Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the Blade of Frontiers, but I...
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood, the Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She's a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
Will catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlach, but you already knew that. And you are... Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. Turns out I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going. Don't worry, I'll lead the charge. But I could use your help. There's a lot of them and only one of me. After that, we can team up. Take Faerun by the short hairs. Sound good? Dirty work's the only kind I like. Gets even messier the more bodies you throw at it. Think of the potential. Damn. After a decade, I can take a hint. Change your mind about teaming up? Fuck yes. They cornered... Hang on, though. Looks like you've got an... I'll catch up with you when it's time to...
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly. I can say only this. Karlach's not the only one who's...
Gods, what now? Do you have a tax collector on your tail?
You're closer than you'd think. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance. And you'll have them.
I knew we were a strange band. Not that I want to get on the wrong side of any devils, but this Karlach is a survivor. Plus, I appreciate anyone who opens a conversation with threats of bodily harm.
Well met.
Let's move.
An ally fresh from the hells themselves.
I'm still looking to shift some supplies. Don't have much to spare, but it's more than we can carry.
In Tia's name.
Our scouts told us you'd come. The Devil's ally. Come to finish us, have you? I'm sure she's invented a fascinating history of... We are paladins of Tyr, Lord of Justice. He sent us after... She slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the Absolute. Yesterday, she butchered an entire family. We were... Then you'd be very stupid indeed. Poor Karlak. Zariel will find this...
No holding back.
I'm ready. Sounds like fun.
What fools these mortals be.
Can you feel death's cold grip?
Swords meet sorcery. Step by step.
Step quick.
Well met.
Bloody, then you're lost to blood.
Evident.
I can. Another vision. Her rape.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
We'll catch his.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes.
Shit, you really are.
I'm Karlak. Well, I mean, how would you... Little back. You I played a Zariel like... Fuck yes! Then we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faerun by the short. Trust me. When you see what I'm capable of, I'd hug you if it wouldn't... hang on, though. I'll catch up with you when it's time.
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. I can say only... You say you're closer than you know. One night soon when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my... And you'll have...
I thought we were going to see some... It's almost a pity things ended so amicably. Seeing those two duke it out would be fun.
Devil and devil hunter standing shoulder to shoulder against a
Hey, yeah, let's go straight. Just to say, by the way, they're not really paladins. Lackeys of the Archdevil playing dress-up as paladins of Tyr. No honor among devils. Depends on the type. Ice devils hate demons, on the other hand. Sharp instincts. Anyway, what were we talking about? Trust me, I'll tell you all about it after we take care of the goons on my tail. Funny you I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you? Lucky you. Well, you may as well make some good memories. Hey,
Yes?
Karlak and Will seem to have put their differences aside. I thought it was going to come to fine. What's on your mind? I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you.
Well met.
How can I help?
Hellfire. She's coming.
Well, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
You flatterer. Why, if I had a warm heart, I'm sure it would be skipping. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing. I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora, and at least those can be buried after. That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark. Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless. Karlak meets the criteria, pet. Trust me on this. He's the blade of frontiers. Devil's plaything just doesn't have the same ring. Speaking of...
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade. Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was.
What?
We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. She favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good state. Help me kill those paladins of Tyr, and I'll tell you, a bit of good gossip for your good health. Make room, then.
There you are. I was just thinking about you. And that delicious moment we shared the other night. The very same. I've had this condition for 2 centuries, but truth be told, you were my first. In all these years, I've only ever fed on beasts. Drinking the blood of thinking creatures is a different thing entirely. You were delectable. And now I can't help but wonder how the others taste. Alas. It doesn't hurt to ponder the question, though. Take Gale, for example. He strikes me as someone whose blood is rich, refined, like well-aged brandy. But Karlak, a tiefling seasoned by hell's fire. What could she possibly taste like? Oh. Well, that sounds very appealing. I'm almost convinced. No one's getting killed, I swear. We're just 2 friends talking. So, in the spirit of theoretical questions, if you had to take a bite from one of them, who would it be? Oh, I'm flattered. Who knew you had such taste? Unfortunately, all this talk is getting me hungry. I better find something I can actually sink my teeth into. Don't tempt me, darling. So, Will did the right thing, and it earned him a set of horns. Let that be a lesson to us all.
All's well, I hope? Aside from the obvious. Fine. What's on your mind?
How can I help?
God's damn her, straight back. Just look at me. I did what was... I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings. I deserve that. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cut. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts, but I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. Ah, the one little question that put me out. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the... But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself, it was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is... Well met. A possibility that's kept me awake, but I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. It could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know, my contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. I'm so sorry to give you another. She won't touch you unless there's something there for her to take. Well met. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river... I feel the weight of these horns, not to mention a few... But be my mirror. What do you see? It's because you know that the people will see a curious, but I will slay their monsters. Keep them safe.
Hey. Help me kill those paladins of Tyr, and I'll tell you.
Well, hello. What can I do for you? My sweet, there is nothing I'd like more. I'll come to you tonight, when you're snugly wrapped in your bedroll, and we can have a little privacy. And this time, I'll make sure I'm quiet. We don't want to disturb your rest. Later on, when we are at rest, I will eat you right up. Just enough to give me strength, and just enough to leave you wishing for more.
Well met.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Let's see what this does.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
What's on your mind?
I'm still looking to shift some supplies. Don't have much to spare, but it's more than we can carry.
In Tia's name.
Our scouts told us you'd come. The Devil's ally. I'm sure she slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the Absolute. Then you'd be... Zariel...
How about this?
Time to push on that again.
This is my time. Two steps at a time.
Let me recite their demise.
Nothing important is ever easy.
Forever dauntless. I found my mark.
A tale for the ages.
Yes?
Well met.
What's in here?
Yeah. You did? Wow. That was sound of you. Why'd you do it? You're my kind of people. Wish I could have been there to watch those Then again, facing them... Hear that? Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close. Wild, right? And believe it or not, I'm one of Zariel's least mutants. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting... Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him. Sounds like a good lead. Hopefully our guy will be among... What? Gives me energy. Power. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, I try not to think. One of these days I'll sort the whole... But... Hey. That's the short of it. Bloody thing's been in overdrive. The year... 10 air. The place... Sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zar. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. But, took 10 years of that. Guy named Gortash. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Yeah.
Well, hello. What can I do?
Well met.
What's on your mind? Your enterprising approach to my problem is most... Do not yet need to consume an item.
All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious.
Need something?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's on your mind? I question the wisdom of that decision. I'll be here in the meantime.
Fuck yeah. Hey.
Yes. I was so hoping you'd say that. And
Well met.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Almost pleasant traveling with company. If you ignore all the less pleasant aspects. Fine. What's on your mind? I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have...